Okay, so for this week's book review, I am reviewing Almost Amish by Kathryn Cushman. And this is a book about two women, one's kind of a Martha, one's kind of a Mary, who decide to go into a reality TV series where they attempt to live an Amish lifestyle. One moment, I'm boiling. Okay. And as part of that, it's a wonderful story about two women, their relationships with each other, their relationships with their children, and how they manage their time. And one of the early challenges for one of the ladies is to make a shoofly pie, which is a traditional Amish kind of dessert. And she has to do it on national TV, and she's not really a cook. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun if when I did my review that I actually performed my recipe like Julie has to in the book. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. But traditionally, when I do a book review, I say what I like, what I didn't like, and whether I would recommend it. So I'm going to add that into the video too. So what I liked about it is I love this author's writing style. Kathryn Cushman is very enjoyable. Her writing style is fantastic. I also loved that there was the lesson of we have control over our time, no matter what world we live in, whether we're Amish, we live in the city, we live in the country, we have control over our time, and we fill it up or empty it out based upon our priorities. And our priorities should be people and not things. And so what I didn't love about this book, and it's going to sound like the kiss of death, but I don't really mean it that way, is that it's put downable. It actually took me about 2 weeks to read this book, and that is an eternity in my reading speed. But I'm going to say that that's probably because it caused me to think about how I was spending my time a little bit more, and I was choosing to put the book down to spend more time with the important people in my life. So maybe that's not a bad thing. But anyway, okay, so for today's recipe, we are making shoofly pie, and obviously I'm winging this, so let's see how it turns out. The first thing I need to do is take 3/4 cups of boiling water in my messy kitchen back here. Let me grab that, be right back. So I'm going to pour in 3/4 cups of water into a mixing bowl, and it's hot. And I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and mix that around so that it dissolves. Now, I've never had shoofly pie before, and this really is the first time I'm making it. So this is in keeping with poor Julie in the book. And then into that boiling water and baking soda, you put in 3/4 cup of dark molasses and stir it up so that it all melts together. And so I'm stirring to kind of get it incorporated. I think it's still supposed to be a little warm and gooey. Now, from looking at the recipe, shoofly pie reminds me of pecan pie without the pecans. And pecan pie is one of the favorites in our house. So I think it's going to turn out great. Okay, into another bowl, similar medium-sized bowl. This is a gorgeous pottery bowl from an artist in Dayton, Ohio, which I miss you. He sets up at the 2nd Street Market all the time. Gorgeous pottery. Anyway, I'm going to add 1½ cups of flour. A 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and it's packed in there, and a 1/4 cup of butter. And you're just going to mush that around until it gets crumbly. And well mixed. And I am using a pre-baked 9-inch pie crust to make this doable and quick and easy. Julie doesn't have that privilege in the book. One of my favorite things about the book is how it takes time to examine the mother's relationships with their daughters and whether they really see them for who they are or who they want to be. It's very good. I enjoy that. Okay, so now that these are incorporated and crumbly, I am going to layer these in the pie crust. And you start with your liquid layer, and you layer it by thirds. So I'm going to pour in some of my molasses mixture. I went with a deep dish pie crust because it seemed like it was a lot of stuff to go in a pie crust. I'm wondering if maybe I could have made 2 separate ones and then I could have taken one into the ladies at work. But instead, I'll just do one deep dish and we'll eat it all. Okay, and then my crumbles. And back with the molasses. It appears I'm only going to get 2 layers out of mine instead of 3, but that's going to be okay. Oh, wow, this looks fantastic. Okay. I'm going to hold it up. It already looks delicious. It's not even baked yet. I don't know if you'll be able to really see it. Can you see that? It is really soupy, so I can't tilt it. But it looks fantastic. Okay, now it's going to go into a 375-degree oven for about 35 minutes. And I promise I'll take a picture when I'm done. Oh, in the meanwhile, because I won't be back, go ahead and pick up Almost Amish. I noticed that our library just came out in large print, so it's fantastic. But don't be turned off by it because it looks like bonnet fiction, because it's great. It's not just bonnet fiction. It's great women's inspirational fiction too. Okay, have a great day.
What is bonnet fiction?